If you can sit with us.
Let me just see if that's going to get me in there. It will.
Make sure you can distinguish my features.
Figure out. I want to get a picture of all.
Yeah, your features they look pretty well distinguished. Extinguished. You want me to extinguish your features?
No, I said make sure my features are distinguished.
It's been on.
I just turned it on. Hey, you guys.
Edit that out.
Of course, I'm Aaron. Y'all know me. And this is Victoria.
Hi.
And it's Victoria Day at Creative Engineering. She's having a tour here, and she brought a friend along. And her friend that she brought, what is your name, sir?
Wait, he wants
to be
introduced.
You tell the fans who
She
you
does.
are.
She wants to be here too.
Yeah, did you see her?
She is. Yeah,
She came up and asked to be introduced.
She did. That's my dog. But I want to introduce this guy. Burt Wilson is here with us today, and Victoria brought him along because she could bring up to 3 people.
Yes, I could. I tried to get Duke. Sorry, I almost did though.
And so she was
leave
her
me
idea.
out, right?
No, you were always coming.
No.
Yeah, you could bring Duke and Bubba and Shalisa. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
But I give them a 5% discount.
I want that fat stalled in.
There you go. There's the proof.
Yeah. Hey, Fatz, it's nice having you back here at Creative Engineering. What you been doing? What you said?
Yeah, I've been hitchhiking.
Hitchhiking?
With a suitcase.
With a suitcase. You been hitchhiking across the city or across?
Drinking a lot of wine.
Drinking wine. Boone's Farm? That's what you used to like. Boone's
No, I like me a good pink chablis.
Oh, you got the chablets. You know, I've been making some moonshine here in my barrel. And Looney Bird's he's checking the level. Make sure it don't get too full. You want to try a little moonshine later?
I certainly would.
Okay, so me, Billy Bob, and Fatz, and Victoria, we're going to be trying some moonshine in a little while.
Squeezins.
Yeah. Corn squeezins. Yeah.
Corn squeezing.
As in squeezins.
And here they are right
That should
here.
last us a day.
Yeah. So, you know, this is really just a prop. People don't know that. They think this is really... See, but look.
It looks
see?
delicious.
There's nothing in there. There's nothing in there.
Oh, shoot.
It's all fake. Even the X's is fake.
Can you get that at a strip club?
No, what are you doing? This is going out to my kids. This is going out to all my kids.
Sorry.
Oops, sorry. Edit that out.
He hadn't been
I'm a
in...
bad man.
He hadn't been in family entertainment in a while. You know? We used to have the same problem when we would do show tapes in the studio.
Yeah.
Let me see. I'm going to give him a quiz. We're going to quiz Bubba here.
You had to edit me a lot.
Who was the censor of all of us when we'd be? Who was our censor?
Who would censor us?
Who amongst us, the group, the character voices?
Yeah, because we wouldn't censor ourselves.
There was one guy.
Rick?
Rick told us what was appropriate or not appropriate for Showbiz Pizza Place.
That sounds like Rick. Of course that's Rick.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
I'm not going to say that. Yeah, I'm not going to say that.
He would say, he'd take that cigarette out of his mouth and go, I'm not going to sing that song.
Not appropriate.
I don't know, but it's already been
Sounds like
approved
Rick.
by Aaron and I. We're going to put it in the show, and everybody has a song on the same theme, and this is short. I'm not going to do it. And we go, okay, Yang Bailey. Remember we used to call him that?
Yeah.
I said, you have to take this over there, and he would argue with you. He was fussy. He was fussy.
Oh yeah. He was not afraid that I was going to fire him.
No, he was never.
Do you remember him ever being afraid of getting fired? No. He did things that the normal boss would fire a guy for. Yeah.
And he was never.
But
he had no fear.
But you know what I did?
I had tons of it.
I learned a lot from Rick. The stuff that Rick did that would have got him fired anywhere else. You know what I did?
What'd you do?
I give him a raise.
That's right. Because he did some bad
all
stuff.
right, you stole my girlfriend. You get a raise.
And then you gave him the voice of Beach Bear.
Yeah, Beach Bear. Yeah.
That was genius, really.
You know what was funny?
You could see beyond.
Now, I've told this story 100 times to people that come, and I don't know if you can remember this. Okay, I've told this story 100 times to people that come to my shop. About the first time I ever heard Rick sing. Okay, it was before he was doing background harmonies for us. He was working in the studio. He was running some knobs, and I asked him to give me some help. He was actually helping me record something that I had to record.
So he was doing an audio job.
Yeah,
right?
he was engineering.
Right.
And I said, look, I really don't know how to sing this. I'm not really sure how to sing this. Do you have any suggestions? And he came out of the engineering booth, and he got in front of the microphone, and he belted out a performance that blew me away. I'd never heard him sing.
Of the song that you were trying to sing.
Yeah, I think it was the song I was trying to sing, but I'm not sure about that part. But he blew me away, and I said, "Whoa, you can sing! You really can sing!" I said, "Let me run and get Sal and Duke and Shalisa. They're in the other rooms working on things. You were in your little room working on something, and Duke was in his room."
Yeah, right.
So I ran and got you guys, and I dragged you back in, and I'm like, listen to Rick sing. You know?
Had we not heard him sing before?
No, we had not heard him sing.
Oh.
And I said, "Rick, get in front of the microphone and sing." And Rick got in front of the microphone.
Okay, I want to hear what he does here.
And he goes, I will never forget the look on your face. Burt looked at me like, you dragged me away from what I was working on for that. I said, no. He really sang. I swear to God, he sang. He did. Duke, listen to me. Do you believe me? You believe me, don't you, Duke? No. You guys all just kind of like went back where you came from and left Rick and me alone in the studio again. And I said, "Rick, why didn't you sing? What's wrong with you?" He goes, "I don't know."
That's him. He's got all this power and all this big voice, and
no.
If
you ask him to do it, he won't do it. You know, I mean, after a while, if you know how to ask him, he'll do it. But he was so yang that he didn't even care that you guys didn't get to hear him sing.
What was he playing? What chord was he playing? Look, once I heard him sing, I went, I am really lucky to be able to work with a guy like him. Because he was a great singer and a great personality. But what was that? Was he trying to be like a starving artist guy?
Yeah.
Cool?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He had to bleed.
I know, and I know that a lot of people want to look like a successful artist, and a lot of people want to just look like a starving artist. But it's all cool.
But he secretly, just like Jeff.
Yeah.
Rick wanted to be Bruce Springsteen too.
Rick was.
He was Bruce Springsteen.
He was.
I was going to guess that's
You've
what
heard
he
Born to
like.
Run.
Yeah.
If you've heard Born to Run, he actually out Bruce Springsteen.
Big voice, and he could do all that gravel in it and stuff I couldn't do. And
you know what?
I said, let him do whatever he wants, because I'll record it.
And you know what's funny is one time I decided I wanted to coach Rick through a song. Because you didn't need to coach Rick, right? But I felt like I needed to coach Rick through this particular song. And I did. I coached him through Twist and Shout. And you know, I remember what you said when you heard the song. Do you remember what you said? When
I don't remember.
You said, "Aaron, I thought you sang that." I said, "No, that was me coaching Rick to sing it."
Did I say that?
You thought that was me, and it was actually Rick being coached by me.
By you?
Yeah. Twist and shout! You know, I said, "Come on, Rick, you gotta yell more."
Yeah, you have to yell to the point that you're like you're about to lose your voice. John did it in a recording session. That
was the last song of the night.
Last song of the night, and he said, "I'll blow it out once for you guys."
And it sounded great with that horsiness. Yeah, I like that.
Oh,
But you know what? John's live performances of Twist and Shout were all great too. You know, they had a lot of staying power. You know, those guys, they could sing for 8 hours and still sing another 8.
And be charming and all the rest of it, but there's still something about the Beatles that transcends all that. And they'll be around for years and years to come. And even though they were cute and bubbly and all that stuff, and we all got it, the music was something that's gonna last.
One of the things that I remember is that when we were doing all that Beatles stuff in our studio, I felt like we needed to do it to teach the younger generation who the Beatles were.
I felt the same way.
You know, because they weren't getting the Beatles.
They weren't getting
the Beatles were an old person's group. So we were doing
that
Beatle
name,
covers.
they were supposed to go against it because that's their fathers, you know, or their grandfathers.
Well, back in our early days, like when we were kids, we didn't like our fathers' musicians, like Frank Sinatra.
We had to go against,
all those guys, all the old guys. Yeah. But what's funny is that ours was the last generation that did that. After our generation, everybody loved our music, the 60s and the 70s and the 80s.
Yeah.
Classic rock has never been.
It has never gone bad because I make a living at it.
Yeah, classic rock has never been thought of as granddaddy's music.
No.
Led Zeppelin has always been.
Imagine
cool.
in the 60s that they were playing I Want a Girl Just Like the One That Married Dear Old Dad from the turn of the century. And they were doing it 60 years later. And it was like, no, shut up. That sucks.
But you know what I just learned that I didn't know? I was listening to Just Four Guys, which is a blog that you can tune into and hear. They did a 2-part blog on Led Zeppelin showing where Led Zeppelin, actually Robert Plant, stole just about all of his songs from previous blues artists.
Yeah, I heard that on Disgraceland on iTunes.
But obviously they made it their own song, but they didn't call them covers.
Yeah. The Beatles stole everything from Little Richard.
Yeah.
And then they put it out, and America went crazy for it. And they're like, why are they going crazy? We're just stealing Little Richard, but put through their English brains, liver-pudding brains.
Yeah.
They were like, it sounded completely different. So a lot of times, copying someone comes out different than you think.
Well, when we did all the Beatles songs, we didn't realize that the little kids that are even still today, there's lots of young kids who are into our music, and they get into our music before they get into Beatle music.
Yeah.
So what happens is they listen to our covers of the Beatles songs,
And then
when they hear the Beatle version, they'll go, "We like the Rock-afire version best."
Yeah. That's how I
I've
learned
heard that.
about the
That's
songs
right.
that I never heard of.
That's
like
right.
Bassman, Roast Beef, all those things. I didn't know them, and then I only know them as Rock-afire songs.
Yeah.
And I like your version better.
Well,
when I-
Bassman is a great example of a song that I loved when I was a little boy.
We did that together.
When I was 7 or 8 years old, I used to love that song, 1962. I used to listen to it. Grab that little radio right there, that green and white thing. Yeah, that. That's the
Oh,
crystal
my.
radio that my dad and I built when I was 6
that's
years
it,
old.
way,
the one you
my-
talked about.
Thank you. Yeah, my dad was the greatest.
He was
And,
great.
and,
He
and
helped
we
me
stayed
out.
up all night
That's
one night
cool.
building this crystal radio, a little heat
Is that
kit.
the one?
That's cool.
This is it.
I didn't know you'd still.
Yes, and I used to listen to Mr. Bassman on this, Mary Wells, My
This
Guy.
is the very one?
Yes,
Wow.
Yes.
You and Mel put
Aw.
together?
yes.
That's neat.
Just
And
some
look at that.
electronics?
That's all that's in it. It's a crystal
Wow.
diode and a tuning coil. See that? That's all it is. A crystal
that's
diode
neat.
and a tuning
Oh my
coil.
God, I didn't know that you were doing stuff like that.
And it would pick up the closest AM radio station and nothing else. That's all it would pick up.
So where did you learn your electronics from? From Mel?
No, Dad didn't know anything. It took us all night to figure out how to put this little thing together. But after that, I had mentors in the neighborhood. Across the street, there was a guy in electronics. He was an electronic engineer. He mentored me. And there were other people who mentored me.
Okay, well let me tell you, when I was your age, I had a guy across the street who helped me put together a science project of a hovercraft.
Oh,
Okay, very complicated with an airplane engine in it, but he built it. I didn't have anything to do with it really, and I could have been mentored by this guy if I were into ground effects machines. But I scored really well at the science project, but actually he built it. I didn't understand the shit
I
about
think
it.
most
And
kids had
you're
their
lucky.
science projects built by their elders. You know,
Oh,
I've
really?
seen so many science fairs where the
Was
kids...
this science fair project?
No, this is before science fairs. This is elementary school. We didn't have...
Elementary.
Well,
So
even
you were
bef-
like 6th grade,
Oh, more like
4th?
4th grade, 3rd grade.
That's
Yeah.
really
This
young.
is pre-Beatles.
This is pre-Beatles.
Yeah, this is Mary Wells, My Guy. This is
So where's the
Popsicles,
speaker?
Icicles.
Where's the?
It's right here.
Oh, through the earphones.
Yeah.
Okay.
I slept with this in my ear for so many nights. So I
That
sleep with
is
the
awesome. I
pillow.
never knew
seen
about
anything
You
that.
just sit there and listen, and it was high fidelity because if an earphone, if you got it in your ear, it sounds high fidelity. All the bass is there. all
Was
the
it
trebles.
stereo or mono?
No, there was no such thing as stereo.
No stereo?
No. Remember, stereo was born in like '62 or '3.
Yes. Yeah. The Beatles and they used to pan stuff and then make everything so broad and
The
texturized.
Beatles, they started by putting all their vocals on one speaker and all their tracks on the other, so you actually had an early version of karaoke. Because you could
because you could move out the drums and the bass and stuff and just put in.
I remember
their
that
vocals.
I remember they just had their reverb on the speaker with the instruments.
That's
so you
brilliant.
There is a place where I can go and I feel blue, and I feel blue.
And so all you hear is the
echo.
The echo. But when you put the real voice over here, now you got this big textured field, man.
Yeah, and I'd like to try some of that. I'd like to try some hard panning again. I love it when I go back and listen to that.
I really think I was taught that by, I don't know if you remember, a guitar player that worked for me over there. And when I started using him on the track, you said a lot about him. He was a big, kind of fat guy, and he was.
Is he the guy that had the goatee that grew real long like this, only as a strand, and he braided it, that real long braid?
No, not that guy. This guy was pretty straight, had glasses, kind of a fat guy, chubby face with some.
I don't know why I don't remember him.
He taught me about doing that and how to pan it
to get
the effects over here. He said play with it, and you'll see how big it makes your lead vocal, or how big it makes your guitars. And you put the effect over here and the real thing over here, and then work with the pans. And I was like, oh my God, it just changed my whole life.